Yeah, everybody rushing to get into work, right? On the subway, late, you know, it happens, it's Monday. But is there a real reason for you being late? Could it be burnout, not just the traffic and things like that? Professional life coach Jennifer Longmore joins us now to help identify the signs of burnout and what we can do about it. Jennifer, thank you very much for joining us.
Well,
and you were
morning.
on time, so you're
Yes.
excited about being here, right?
I am excited about being here. Thank you.
So why is that such an indicator that maybe you're done?
It's such a great question because we can think lateness is just, oh, I don't have good time management. But we get to a point where we get so finished with a job for whatever reason that it's harder and harder to stay engaged. It's harder and harder to get excited to go in. We go into work and then our employers are getting less productivity from us because we don't really want to be there anymore.
You are done with now. But it's tough, though, because if you have to stay in that job, I mean, it might be a job you love. How do you recharge, regenerate?
That's such a great question. I was saying before that we don't really have control over our circumstances at work, but we do have control over how we manage our mindset and how we show up. So one of the first things we want to do to avoid burnout is make sure that we're unplugging from technology at least an hour before bed. We've got to give our brain a chance to shut off and ideally plug it in another room so that we're not tempted to figure out what's going on and worry about what we're missing out on.
And what kind of, just for a second, what does that make for a difference, that shutting it down an hour before?
Technology is really great at just, you know, bonking at our system a lot, and when we're overstimulated, it's hard to settle down and sleep, and if we're not sleeping, we feel even more tired to get up to a job that we already don't want to go to.
Because I'm terrible for that. I know I will sit at night and I'll start reading, and I have the melatonin light on or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
but it's still not helping, isn't it? You should be shutting it down and
Absolutely.
reading a book.
In an ideal world,
Yeah.
yes.
But, and you mentioned, though, it's productivity as well. What can companies and bosses do to try and work on this?
It would be lovely if all employers recognize that the more engaged people are, the more productive they are, and if they take care of their employees by having, you know, massage therapists that come in, or bringing aromatherapy in, or having great health benefits, that's going to keep people, you know, it's going to keep burnout at a minimum for sure for people.
Well, we're just talking, I mean, we're talking about having a nap here. It'd be lovely because it's 6:30 in the morning, but they're actually... There are places that have nap stations, right?
Yes.
And it does help.
Yeah, companies that want to attract good talent tend to have good benefits for their employees.
But silly, and sometimes they sound silly, but those things are the ones that make the difference, like a ping pong table.
Exactly. It does. It sounds like it would be counterproductive, but actually it makes people more engaged. They want to go into work and they want to do right by the company.
Now, for the company or for the boss, if you're concerned about your employee, how do you identify? When does it start showing up? You said late is a good sign.
Yeah,
What
occasional lateness is one thing. When someone's consistently showing up late and maybe they're also starting to get a little bit snippy with their colleagues or with their boss, or maybe they're not meeting deadlines, you know, there's a pattern that starts to evolve. I don't think it's good to go in and be really hard with people up front, but at least pull them aside and say, hey, is everything okay? Do you need any support from me? How can I make it easier for you to get your job done while you're here?
And it's not easy because they're under pressure as well.
Exactly.
Everything flows downhill, right?
Exactly.
It's a difficult situation. When do you make the choice that maybe it's time to go? Or is it? I mean, obviously, in this day and age, I mean, the jobs are hard to come by at times. When do you make the choice?
I think, you know, we were talking before, I went to a job, my first day on a job, and I was 5 minutes late, and I was mortified with myself, but I didn't want to be there. And when we know we're done, we just know we're done, and either we make the decision or someone makes the decision for us. So it's kind of more empowering to be the one to decide, okay, it's time to start getting some career planning.
And start thinking about the next move and the next
Yes.
the change.
Exactly.
Jennifer, thank you very much for joining us today and talking about
Thank you
burnout.
for having me.
I'm sure it's a very common thing. I appreciate it. Life coach Jennifer Longmore. For more info, go to breakfasttelevision.ca.